Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian at WhisperStatus74. Welcome to the community, welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you are seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are Real Tech for Real People. Today's video is definitely a treat. It is a very high-end matchup between the LG ZX 88-inch flagship OLED versus the 65-inch Sony A90J Master Series OLED. This video was shot at Value Electronics. Special thank you to Robert and Wendy Zahn. I was down at their store today. I was there to film the LG C1 77-inch, which we'll still have that video. And I was also able to bring home the Sony A90J, which is the successor to the Sony A900H. And I just couldn't help it. The ZX was there next to the A90J. They had several A90Js that are there being calibrated for customers. And I could not help but to try and sync them up and have them side by side and see how they match up. All right, guys, before we get to the footage, a little bit of the setup. This isn't meant to be a like for like. The ZX is not calibrated. It is 88 inches. It is their 8K flagship. It's enormous. The 65 A90J is in the process of being broken in. All the panels in that room in regards to the A90J are being calibrated. It's not fully calibrated. It is in the process, but they were side by side. So we're not looking for like. Even syncing them up was difficult as the LG is running its in-store demo material, which is LG Global. So trying to match the HDR 4K YouTube equivalent, which I have a playlist of LG Global content, matching those up isn't always easy as the LG one is running on a quick loop. I have to predict which one is showing up. I got them close a couple times. They're not made to look like for like, not to see which one is better. It is just a fun thing to look at. It is ironic though that I grabbed the X90 mid-range panel, which is the successor to the 900H, which I think is very important for us to cover all levels. And I think covering the mid-range is as important as the high range. But it's ironic having this after seeing those, but they look stunning. I'll be talking over the demo as well. Again, they're not like for like. The LG is in a bright store mode. It's not exactly its dynamic or vivid mode, but it goes into the bright mode. So the Sony is also in its brightest mode. It's actually in vivid with some of the settings kind of toned down to make it look better so it doesn't look too noisy, but they both look amazing. They're also in extremely bright rooms. We're not looking at all for accuracy. This was done very, very quick. The color temperatures don't match up. It's just for fun, so please don't take it too seriously on which is better. I will tell you the ZX is unreal. It is by far the best looking 8K panel I have ever seen, and the A90J, much like its A9G predecessor, just no matter where you look, it's just obvious what that panel is. It is gorgeous. Without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the footage. Again, special thank you to Robert Zahn of Value Electronics. All right, guys, we are now in the gallery looking at the ZX 8K LG flagship next to the Sony A90J Master Series OLED at 65 inches. I just wrapped up the C1 intro from Robert Zahn, talking about it, introducing the 77-inch as they're one of the first to have it. And while we were both talking, seeing these two titans, behind us, I'd already spent a few hours and just wanted to grab a little footage on the way out. Very kind of them, and I'll always say, thank you to Robert and Wendy for having me in the store. It does disrupt business that I'm there. The displays have to be turned to something that is copyright friendly. And I do take up a lot of space. And as you can see in front of me, there's all kinds of boxes. Sony, LG to my right, Sony. There's also several A90Js, as I mentioned before, being calibrated all around us. So I am grateful and very thankful that they're so kind and generous to me and us as a community. Now to the ZX, it is not the Evo panel. It is from last year, but it does push brighter. They are not synced up in terms of their temperature color-wise. They are different manufacturers, obviously, but the LG is in its store mode, meaning it's running its own LG global demos that cannot be changed preset-wise. So trying to match the Sony was just really about getting it bright versus trying to match them color-wise. Syncing them up, the Sony is playing YouTube 4K HDR, same demo, but the loop runs quickly on the LG, so it's hard to predict what's next, and I can't pause the LG. This is my favorite demo. The LG Global has great demos. The wildlife one is amazing. The Sony reminds me very much of the Panasonic Hollywood reference model that was also in here just a few months ago. Very accurate, very realistic. It's a cooler image. The colors look real. Where the Sony, or the LG, I should say, has a more saturated, has a warmer look to it. Again, that's color temperature as well. They look very different here, but they both look stunning. The ZX is the best looking 8K panel I have ever seen. To me, eclipsing the Z9 that was from 2019, as well as the Z9G, and that includes the Samsungs as well. The Q900A that I did feature in here before has also been sold, but it would have been nice to see that here as well. Now, we also have large windows behind me, as well as a skylight. The LG C1 is also behind me. You'll see that video in a few days. But having these two very, very high-end panels is a real treat. It's very hard to find even inventory in any store, let alone these two monsters next to each other. Next time I'm there, when the 83-inch A90J is on display, I'll try to sync those up, and we'll get them very close, as well as the Z9J, which should be there also in May. The X95J, I have the X90 here. We'll see LG Mini LED, QNED will be in as well. But the Z9J is something that many of you are waiting for. OLEDs are absolutely gorgeous, but I'm always pulling for LEDs. Always. Look how beautiful those are. This is like my second favorite demo from LG Global. Not the most natural looking colors, but it's got the kittens and the crabs. It is beautiful. The A90J, a real home run for Sony this year. Like the A9G before it, corner of your eye, it just grabs you. And I've seen a lot of panels in this same store, and my eyes are always brought back to the A90J. Their A9Gs are actually all sold out, but the ZX, these two panels are the definitely kings of the room as of right now. Sony Master Series always have a very accurate, out-of-the-box, cool look to them. Again, I wish I had or at least set the colors close, but again, I was in a rush to kind of get out and just wanted to show you guys this quick comparison as a little treat. I definitely geeked out over it, so did Robert. But again, thank you to Robert and Wendy Zone of Value Electronics for their kindness and generosity. We'll have more videos on the X90J, which I'm excited to get my hands on and spend some time with, especially after yesterday's update. And we'll get down there and film more for you guys. You'll also see the C1 video with Robert. You'll see the 83-inch C1 here, as well as the G1. And I'll be choosing myself between the 77-inch G1 and the 83-inch C1. I also want to take a second to thank you guys for all of your friendship and all of your kindness. I took a couple weeks away from the platform. I missed you guys dearly, and I am so grateful to have you here for your kindness and your friendship. especially during this year. Yeah, they're just showing you the panels that are down there. But I am so grateful to have you. Thank you so much for having me and welcoming me into your home. And I will talk to you guys in the comments. Love you guys.